Metal Gear is back, and Celino is calling once again with the long-awaited remake, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Snake Eater. Taking us back to the origin story of Snake, the soldier who would surpass the mother of special forces and become the greatest warrior of the 20th century, Big Boss. It's almost been 2 decades since the release of the original Snake Eater, and since then, the canonical timeline of the franchise has been greatly expanded, with the addition of new characters and events that have since intertwined with the games we have played years ago. And one of those additions is our arch-enemy in MGS5, Skullface, who we learned that he was working in the shadows during the events of Snake Eater.
This pirate crackdown's a go! Move!
How's it going, guys? PythonSelkan here. Hope you're all doing good. Konami announced that Delta Snake Eater will be a faithful recreation of the story we all came to know and love. And speaking in an interview with IGN Japan, Konami further confirmed that the remake will be following the original work. Therefore, there will be no major changes in the story structure of the game. And we really don't expect any. This game's story was perfect in every way, and we honestly don't think anything should be changed from this masterpiece. That being said, when a game is remade, there could still be additional connections or perhaps even Easter eggs that could also be implemented without posing any harm to the canonical timeline. This is something we've seen in both remakes and sequels, and which is often appreciated by longtime fans of the franchise. In today's video, we'll be exploring the potential story elements that we believe should be added to Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and why the addition of this particular plot point could now be relevant following the release of the Phantom Pain.
Follow me, Big Boss!
Skullface is an enigmatic villain whose origin goes all the way back to 1964, where he was operating behind the scenes during the first mission of the Fox Unit, otherwise known as the events of Metal Gear Solid 3. This character's backstory ties directly into the events of Snake Eater in a pretty major way, with the XOF unit itself being sent to Celinoyarsk by Major Zero, providing covert support for Naked Snake.
I've known you since your time at Langley. I've long been the other side of your coin. 1964, Soviet territory. Fox's first mission. Any mess you made, I was there to clean up. You completed your task, and admirably. The information you returned was far more than enough to fill our pockets.
Becoming Zero's own XO and the commander of XOF, Skullface and his men were tasked to serve as a support team for the Fox unit, sometimes serving as backup, sometimes as a scout, and other times as Snake's cleanup crew, all of which being done in the shadows, without anyone's knowledge.
Zero made him his XO. He always did have a thing for oddballs. But this one was set to lead a unit no one else would know about. When Zero created Fox, he also formed XOF as a support team. An unconventional special forces unit designed to support Fox, make it stronger, with Skullface giving the orders. Zero never even told the boss about it, nor the CIA, naturally. While you were with Fox, Skullface was operating behind the scenes, making sure the mission succeeded and that you survived.
Keeping this character's past in mind, the fact that Snake Eater's story is being recreated all these years later means that Skullface and his unit could potentially be explored in this upcoming remake. And while we wouldn't expect major changes to be done to the story, we're sure that a secret appearance of Skullface would make for a very interesting addition. Even a simple radio call with Zero would be very cool to witness.
Major, I wondered whether you'd really call.
Exer, I presume this was your doing?
Apart from the involvement of Skullface during Naked Snake's mission, it's also worth noting that another character from Metal Gear Solid 5, Code Talker, even conducted parasite research on the body parts of one of the members of the Cobra unit, the End. Body parts that were recovered following his explosion after being defeated by Snake, or, well, dying of old age.
I had hit a dead end with my parasite research. Then I was approached by a foundation. They said they had a sample of an unusual strain of parasite. Half in doubt, I visited them to discover the body of an old man. Well, to be precise, his partial remains. A collection of parts, you could say. The man had died in an explosion.
During his research, Code Talker would also come across other records that mentioned a separate specimen, one which could control insects at will, referring to another member of the Cobra unit, the Pain.
There was a separate specimen that could control insects at will through secreting heterogeneous pheromones.
Eventually, to learn more about such parasites, Code Talker decided to live with them by injecting himself with the ants' parasites.
He stole the ones I sealed away, forced me to do his terrible work. Skullface.
Skullface would eventually learn of Code Talker and his research, and would force him to modify the parasites he long studied for his own terrible intentions.
I modified the parasites I isolated from the body of that old man, differentiating them with various abilities.
This ultimately led to the creation of the parasite unit that we get to see in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Boss, watch out! It's the skulls!
As you can see, much of what we experienced in MGS5 actually connects to the events of Snake Eater, and it'll certainly be interesting to see if Delta Snake Eater will feature any connections to fit the narrative introduced in MGS5. That being said, most of these story elements happened behind the scenes, so Delta can still make a solid remake without connections to MGS5. If that doesn't happen though, it would be a hell of a missed opportunity for sure, but we'll just have to wait and see, and hope for the best.
I'm sure you'll see the bigger picture, eventually.
What are your thoughts on all this? Do you expect to see Skullface or any direct MGS5 connections in Delta Snake Eater? And if yes, what do you hope to see included? Let us know your thoughts and theories in the comment section down below. We hope you enjoyed this video, and for all things Metal Gear, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll be sure to return the favor with content you won't find anywhere else. Thank you all for watching. Until next time guys, PythonSelkan out.